Morning, welcome. Happy holidays. Sunday. Good day for football. Horse racing at fairgrounds. Yesterday was okay. I actually ended up getting the get out. That last race we had the 6 and the 3 only, and the pick 5 and pick 6. Couldn't get there, but the exacta paid, I think it was like 26-1. Yeah. Ended up having exactly on the try there. So played against those outside posts in that last maiden, did well. Just a few opinions. You know, I think in race 2, I also think you can play the exact maybe 5-1. If we watch the race, I think the 5 is the horse here, not the 6. The 5 might get the lead, might sit right off. They faced each other. We'll talk about the 5 mostly. If the 6 may fade and the 1 may run on for second. So watch the 5-1 exacta. You might get good value there, and that's a potential play. You can see the 1's closing. Erica Murray rides. So I do like the exacta a bit there that the 6 fades out. The 5 faced many of these, including the 6 in that 11:29 race. But we talk about this nearly every day. The 5 was in the 10 post. And it's like 2 or 3% to win from the 9 post out going 6 furlongs. And so when you see these horses then shift back inside, they're a major play for me. Ended up breaking 10th, kind of rushed up, bump start, duel, just had a really, really tough trip and ended up fading. And now slides into the 5 post. And it's just not a great group. We look at the lifetime and 1 for 10 here. All these others I've already cut because I just don't think they have a shot. I know it's bottom level, but it's state bred. The 5 drop, lightly raced. Sam David, 22%, having an outstanding meet right now. If you're an E user, you can see my comments down here. And then you get Martin Pedroza, who's second, wins, chasing Paco. I wouldn't be surprised if Pedroza comes away with the meet lead today at the end of the week. You might have a good day. And Jose Ortiz, too. I think Jose continually gathers wins. But, I think the 5 is single. It's a cheap. I think you can try to get a price in one of these legs. At first I thought it might be really chalky, and then I kind of changed my opinion. So, I'm spreading here. There's all these layoff line horses here. So, I just didn't have a strong opinion. And then I think Ken to the Wicked's a single as well. So playing it cheap on the pick 4 side, pressing the opinion, cheap pick 4, 12.50. If you could beat a chalk in one race, it's going to pay just fine. If you beat him in both, in race 3 and 4, it's going to pay good. We should, I think it's good value. That's why I ended up spreading in both. We'll watch the race sim here. The win percents mainly make this race look fairly wide open, but it's really not a great state bred main special weight group. And Kin to the Wicked still protected. You get Jose, you have the strongest genetic strength rating. That's, surface distance metric for Equine Edge. And the 8 just doesn't like to win is the problem. And the double blue arrows when they close don't win very often, even when they close on the race sim like that. But this horse, the A horse, has been 0 for 8 with 5 seconds. And I just can't trust this horse here for Jade Gelner and Castillo. So I'm trying to beat, the 4 are going to be the favorite. And the 5, I think, backs up my other half is Burn Money and back-to-back efforts. I love trying to play against horses like this. But on the lead, you look at Kin to the Wicked for Jose, Brett Calhoun. Jose, the highest win percent at the meet. He's eventually going to probably take the leading jockey over. He destroyed the meet last year and won by 20 or 30 wins. But has a second and a third, you might say, well, you don't like that other horse, the 8 that runs second and the 5 Burn Money. But here's the thing. The 4 comes out of a top 54 state bred main special. And this is a 52. So dropping 2 points in SOR. And I always tell people 2 to 4 points is material. You look at the 5 was in 48s, and those are easier and Burn Money. These are major play against for me. You faced an easier strength of race and you burned money. I just don't, you just toss them. And then the 8 likes to run second. So you immediately fall to the 4 and you get Jose. Calhoun finds a great spot, still protected. This would be my best bet of the day, even more than the 5 in the second race. And I like to double out of this race. I like the 4-1 best. So I'd be pressing that opinion to different gravy. And we'll watch the race sim here too. I'm against the 2 Flash of Chaos. I think that this horse needs the lead. It maybe gets the lead, maybe doesn't get the lead, breaks slow. I don't think it gets the lead. I think it breaks slow. If that happens, the 1 might just wire the group. The 9 cheap, and I don't think can do much in this race, but the 1 might not need the lead. So Ben Curtis going to be on the inside, going to have decisions on what to do. You can see here on the race sim, the 1 kind of takes over, and then the 2 takes over. But I'm against the 2 Flash of Chaos. Is continually breaking slow, not running well. This horse needs the lead, and I think it breaks slow. The 1 Ben Curtis is going to be gone. I think he's going to stand and he's going to have a lot of good options, which is why I really like the 1, because the race sim shows maybe doesn't need the lead. You can see the horse kind of rates and stocks and it doesn't win the race sim, but that's okay. And I always tell people, when you don't like a horse that wins the race simulator, cut it. And then what happens? The 1 win the race. I'm using the 5 a little bit in a daily double because the price, it's a firster. I like the works on different gravy. I was able to watch them. I like these works back at Keeneland. The work on Improbable Dream is not bad from back here at Churchill. We have no Fairgrounds video, but a horse that runs like that on the race sim, I think you've got to throw a few bucks in the daily double. And then you have Jose and Joe Sharp on the 6. So I think figure out what you're trying to make there. I'm going to press it on the 1, but I would save on the 5 and 6 because I really like the 4 in race 5. And then, figure out what you want to do. I think because the 5 runs so well on the race sim, I think as a firster and as a second pick, it's a tough to not leave out in a race like this. But I think the 1, the horse to beat, I'm going to play some 4-1 cold. I think you could play also you could play the pick 6 today and pick 5. I'm not sure I'm going to play it. I'm actually getting ready to go Christmas shopping, but I like the 4 into the 1 and then maybe some savers on the 5 and 6, mainly because the 5 going to be, and watch the tote, right? Watch the will pays as well. So I think the 6, it's Jose, it's Joe, they're going to take money, but source is a question. It's bred all day, right? On the genetic strength rating, but it doesn't mean he's going to win, in my opinion. But again, I'm against the 2 Flash of Chaos. I got the 1 on top, going to play some heavy into the 4-1. We might get 8-10 to 1. The horse going to take money, but in the daily double, you might be getting 8-10 to 1, which is a great bet all day. So if you just joined us, we showed an early kind of ticket. I think the 5's probably a single in race 2, and I think you can play some 5-1 exacta. And then my last, I do think that the 11 is probably a single in the last leg. I would never bet this horse, but it got all the scratches on the 4-5-9. And when you get scratches like that, this horse, I think, is going to be the speed of the speed. It got Ben Curtis up, does great sprinting. I think he stands for Brittany Russell. We've played this duo before, and we missed, but I'm going to come back to it. She claimed here. So she saw something 1 by 2 lengths in a 50. It's a very similar group of state breds. A lot need to lead here. But I think Ben, Brittany's a great trainer showing up here at Fairgrounds, 28% all year, just the limited runners. But I think Sen's here, and I think's long gone. So I think you can play the pick 5 and pick 6 cheap. If I was playing it, I'd have at least 2 or 3 singles. So, and again, best bet of the day right in the middle there. 4 into the 1, maybe save us some 5 and 6. But, Jose on the 4, I think in race 5, Kin to the Wicked, I like a lot. And again, against the 8 here and against the 5. So, all right, y'all. Good luck. Have fun. Happy holidays. I guess we'll be around next week, right around the holidays. So enjoy time with family. Watch some football today. Good luck. Chat soon.